The void of space trembled. Stars flickered like dying embers in the endless black, their light swallowed by an unseen force moving through the cosmos. The great cosmic sentience known as Galactus stirred in his endless hunger, turning his gaze toward a world rich with energy, one that pulsed with the lifeblood of an entire civilization. Apokolips, a world of fire, machines, and suffering. Apokolips was no ordinary planet. It was a dominion of conquest, an empire of agony ruled by a being whose mere name inspired terror throughout the multiverse. Darkseid, standing atop his throne, the stone-faced tyrant watched with cold, unshaken resolve. He had sensed the presence long before his parademons had even raised the alarm. A herald had arrived. The skies above the planet split open like shattered glass, and from the cosmic rift emerged Norrin Radd, the Silver Surfer, gliding through the darkness with grace beyond mortal comprehension. Cloaked in the shimmering energies of the power cosmic, he descended toward the flaming pits below, his silver form reflecting the eternal infernos of Apokolips. Darkseid of Apokolips, the surfer's voice rang out, echoing across the ruined landscape. I come bearing a warning. The devourer of worlds has marked this place. Your world stands on the brink of annihilation. A deep, earth-quaking chuckle rumbled through the throne room of Darkseid. The ruler of Apokolips rose from his seat, stepping forward with an aura of overwhelming power. You insult me with this proclamation, Herald. Darkseid's voice was slow, deliberate, carrying the weight of absolute authority. You believe Galactus can take what belongs to Darkseid? I am no mere planetary ruler. I am inevitable. The surfer narrowed his glowing eyes. He had seen arrogance before, but Darkseid's was different. It was not born of delusion. It was certainty. Your strength is known to me, but you do not understand what you face, the surfer warned. Galactus is beyond gods. His hunger is eternal. He does not conquer, he consumes. Resist, and your people will perish. Surrender, and you may yet survive. The ground beneath them trembled as Darkseid took another step forward. His glowing red eyes burned with power. His arms crossed behind his back in an effortless display of dominance. You mistake me for a being who values mercy, Darkseid replied. I am the end of all things. Your so-called master is nothing more than another parasite in the endless void. If he comes, he will kneel, just as you will. The air grew thick with cosmic energy as the Silver Surfer clenched his fists. He had faced tyrants before. He had seen the folly of those who believed themselves invincible. But there was something different about Darkseid, something that made the very fabric of reality seem to tremble in his presence. The Herald of Galactus took a step forward, his silver body radiating with untold power. You leave me no choice, he said. I will not allow your arrogance to doom this world. If you will not listen to reason, I will stop you myself. Darkseid's lips curled into the faintest hint of amusement. So be it. The skies of Apokolips turned black as reality itself warped around the two cosmic forces. The battle of gods was about to begin. The very air of Apokolips burned with a malevolent energy as Darkseid took his first step forward. The skies cracked, fire erupted from the planet's molten veins, and the wretched souls trapped in the hellscape below raised their heads in silent horror. Few had ever dared to challenge the god of tyranny on his own world, and none had survived. Above, the Silver Surfer floated in defiance, his silver form shimmering like a fallen star against the eternal darkness. His hands glowed with the limitless power of the cosmos, the energy of dying stars at his command. Without hesitation, he struck first. A beam of raw cosmic energy surged from his hands, blinding and furious, tearing through the ruined skyline of Apokolips. It cut through the air like the wrath of a vengeful god, burning away the darkness and illuminating the nightmarish cityscape below. For any other being, this attack would have meant instant annihilation, but not for Darkseid. He did not move. He did not flinch. He did not blink. The Omega Lord merely raised a single hand, his palm absorbing the entirety of the Silver Surfer's attack. The raw energy that had reduced galaxies to dust now dissipated into his grasp, as if it were nothing more than a dying ember. "You overestimate your power, Herald," Darkseid said, his deep voice reverberating across the battlefield. "And you underestimate mine." Before the surfer could react, Darkseid's eyes flared an ominous red. The Omega beams were unleashed. The deadly, reality-severing beams zigzagged unpredictably, their trajectory bending impossibly through space as they chased their target. The surfer darted through the sky at blinding speed, weaving through the labyrinth of fire and ruin, moving faster than light itself. But the beams followed him as though guided by fate itself, never missing, never slowing. In a desperate counterattack, the Silver Surfer turned, summoning a massive cosmic barrier infused with the very essence of the power cosmic. The Omega beam struck. The barrier shattered like fragile glass. The force of the impact sent the Silver Surfer hurtling through the air, his body crashing through the jagged spires of Apokolips like a meteor. He smashed into the charred ground, forming a deep crater beneath him, his silver form dimming with each labored breath. But he was not finished. Summoning the last reserves of his strength, the surfer rose. His board returned to him, and with a single motion, he soared toward Darkseid, fists glowing with cosmic fury. Darkseid waited. The moment the surfer closed the distance, Darkseid struck. With speed unnatural for a being of his size, the new god caught the surfer mid-flight, wrapping his massive hand around his throat. The very air trembled as Darkseid tightened his grip, lifting the once mighty Herald into the air like a mere insect. "You are nothing," Darkseid intoned, his voice colder than the void of space. "Your so-called power cosmic is but a fraction of what I command." The surfer struggled, his cosmic might flaring wildly, but it was useless. Darkseid's strength was absolute. Then, with a simple motion, Darkseid drove his fist into the Silver Surfer's chest. The impact sent shockwaves across the planet. The force of the punch ruptured the surfer's metallic body, sending cracks through his once indestructible form. The power cosmic struggled to mend the damage, but it was too late. Another punch, then another, then another. Each blow was delivered with the might of a god, each one carrying enough force to shatter planets. The surfer gasped, his cosmic essence spilling into the wind, his once glowing eyes dimming to faint embers. And then came the final blow. Darkseid clenched his fist, imbuing it with the raw force of the Omega effect. With one last, devastating strike, he sent the Silver Surfer hurtling into the depths of Apokolips, buried beneath its infernal surface. For a long moment, silence reigned. The fires of Apokolips continued to burn. The darkness crept back into the sky. The battle was over. Darkseid turned away, his gaze shifting toward the stars. "Let Galactus come," he declared, his voice carrying across the void. "He will learn, as you have, that Darkseid is..." The Silver Surfer had fallen. The god of tyranny stood victorious. The wastelands of Apokolips lay silent, the air thick with the scent of scorched metal and cosmic dust. Deep beneath the planet's infernal crust, a vast crater marked the place where the Silver Surfer had fallen. His once radiant form was now dim, cracks running along his metallic skin as faint traces of the power cosmic flickered like dying embers. Above, Darkseid stood upon the highest tower of his fortress, gazing into the endless void of space. His victory was absolute. Another challenger had been humbled. Another cosmic force had learned the truth. Darkseid is... From the shadows, Darkseid approached, his hunched form quivering with nervous excitement. "My lord, the Herald still lives," he rasped. "Shall we dispose of him?" Darkseid did not turn. No, Darkseid hesitated. "But, my lord, let him return to his master." Darkseid's red eyes burned like dying stars as he watched the cosmos shift beyond Apokolips. "Galactus must know. There is no power greater than mine. The Silver Surfer will carry that message across the stars." Deep within the crater, the surfer stirred. His shattered form trembled, as his board slowly lifted him from the ruins. His mind swam with pain, humiliation, and a terrible realization. Darkseid was more than a god. He was inevitability. Weakened but alive, the surfer rose, his broken body streaking across the cosmos. His master awaited him. A new war loomed on the horizon, and Darkseid stood unshaken, watching the stars, waiting for the next fool who dared challenge the Lord of Apokolips. The end.